Chapter 7b. 8. I awoke in a table. What happened? When I went to go and touch my forehead, I saw that I was chained. I began freaking out because I thought I was captured by Dalen again. No, I refuse. No, you will not take me again. I swear it. And as I kept screaming in agony, begging for someone to come and save me before this gets any worse, I saw the hunter. She kept saying, Connor, relax, it's me, you're safe. What are you talking about? What is going on? What did you call me? Listen, take a deep breath. Good. Now, I want you to relax. You're in a safe place. We're in a village. We're not terribly far away from Huntsman's Keep. But I need you to relax. What are you implying? Well, that reaction was quite violent. Something I never truly expected. Listen, I know that you're scared. Why am I chained? I asked. You're chained for your safety. What do you mean, safety? I mean, you were thrashing quite around in your sleep. But the chains are just supposed to, you don't hurt yourself. What? So many questions and so few answers. Back to my original question. What did you call me? Connor. That's your name. How do you know that's my name? I don't. But we had to call you something, otherwise people would get suspicious. Yes, you're right. Well, why Connor? Well, you look like a Connor, to say the least. That's really all I can say. So, what exactly happened? I said. Well, when we crashed, you fell unconscious and I had to drag your body all the way over here. Thanks. I didn't expect you to do that. You saved my life, I saved yours. It's the way of the hunters. In a way. What do you mean, in a way? We hunters have an unspoken rule where if you receive help, it is your turn to help whoever you have been helped by. So, you helped me because I helped you escape? Yes. Listen, Connor. I saw you in action. I saw how quick and deadly you were. When we first met, of course. Now, what I'm asking you is, will you join the Hunter's Order? We could really use a blade like yours. Deal. What? Deal. But, you what? You want me to join the Hunter's Order? All you have to do is just give me a target. But I'm sorry, I'm a little confused. I was concerned that maybe I'd have to convince you or something. Listen, what Dalen did is wrong. And what I went through, I wanted vengeance. So I want to see that man suffer for what he's done. And plus, I got really nothing else to go for. I'm a warrior. The Hunter's Order can provide that. Can help harbor a warrior. Yeah, that's the thing, too. You're also a monster. You're, well, half monster. By the way, were your eyes always blue? What? No, they were red. I looked in a mirror, and sure enough, they were blue. What the? Well, one of them was a darker blue than the other. I'd say my right eye was pure blue, and my left eye was partially dark blue. What the heck? Doc thinks that maybe your eye's bleeding in the middle of surgery. Surgery? What did I need surgery for? To stop all the bleeding. Had to find some way to help make sure that you're fine. They classify it as a surgery, but in actuality, it was just to stop the bleeding. How much blood was I losing? A lot. They'd say at estimate you lost maybe a liter of blood. Great. So you're not really in a condition to fight. I feel fine. Well, that's what Doc said too. You might feel fine, but in actuality, if you want to prevent those wounds from opening up again, you'll have to take a moment of just stopping. Great. Just great. So, where do you think we need to go next? We need to head to Huntsman's Keep. It's about a 3-day walk. We should be able to get there before the hunters do. Maybe we can explain a few things. What do you mean? Well, they're not going to let a monster into Huntsman's Keep. They take great, thorough, and very, very cautious procedures in order to make sure that you are not a monster. Then that word popped up, procedure. My brain began to hurt, and I was taken back to the pain I felt. What was that? She asked. I said, nothing. It was nothing. Don't play coy with me. What was that? It looked like you were in pain. I was just reminded of an experience. Something that happened in Dalen's castle. Something he did to me. What did he do? Have you ever heard of the procedure? The procedure. Yeah, I've heard of it. People come out of that forest, sometimes not in the way that they went in. I've maybe heard of 5 survivors of the procedure. What happened to the rest of them? They all committed suicide. Said that the pain was just too great, and the reminders of Dalen were too strong. Those are all those that I know of that survived. A lot of people went into that forest. I imagine very few ever came crawling out. And I say crawling very specifically because their legs didn't work. Their Achilles tendons were ripped. Seeing as how yours haven't been ripped yet, you're fine. At least, I think you are. I got to halfway through the procedure before I burst out. Maybe it could be a sign that you are different. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of things I don't understand about you, but I know that what you're doing, who you are, is something Dalen wants to keep under lid. So I highly recommend we get you to Huntsman's Keep as fast as we can. Maybe there'll be answers there. Maybe there won't be. I don't know. But it's our best chance to get answers. I nodded. And then we walked out into the snow. Where is everyone? I haven't seen another person in this entire town. Yeah, it's kind of odd. Then I heard it. Several horses arriving. What is that? I saw multiple soldiers, all from Dalen's court. They said, well, they were yelling, "Come out! Come out, one and all! You tell us where they are. We will spare your pathetic village. We know they're here. So spring them out, and we'll spare you. I guess it was time for a fight. But then the hunter said, "Listen, you're in no condition to fight." I looked at her and said, "Yes, I am. As long as I've got air in my lungs, then yes, I am capable of fighting. And I will not stop fighting against Dalen, and I will do anything to undermine him at every corner I can. By the way, I never got your name. What was it?" "Abby." Okay. All right, Abby. I'll draw their attention. You find a good place to hide, and I'll deal the damage. You just make sure they don't get any bright ideas. She nodded and disappeared into the midst of snow. I walked out and said, "Here I am. You wanted to fight? Let's do it right here, right now." "Oh, good," the soldier said. "We were worried. We'd have to scour this entire town, maybe butcher a few people in order to get the answers we sought. But alas, no one seems to want to come out and play. Well, I'm here. Let's do it." "Very well. Men, seize him. Dalen wants him back alive. Or don't. Doesn't matter to me. As long as we bring him back." And before one soldier could throw their sword at me, I grabbed their arm and spun around, breaking it. Then pulled out their sword from their broken hand and slit their throat. I turned around and slashed the other across the chest, killing them instantly. More soldiers came running at me, and I slashed through all of them with ease. I could feel something, a burning rage. I hadn't felt this one before. I felt rage, but this one was burning. This was true hatred. I felt nothing but the destruction of those I sought, those who were opposing me right now. I saw nothing but the destruction of them and everything they hold dear. I charged deep into the fog, the tiny fog that surrounded our little town from the snow. And I butchered them all. One came jumping from the side. I dodged and cut his head off. The next came jumping from in front of me, trying to catch me off guard. Seeing as how I was dealing with the one from the side earlier, I dropped my blade and dug my fingers deep into his eyes and ripped his head off with my bare hands. The next came running at me, and I used my fist and reached deep into his heart and ripped it out. I pulled the blade out from that first guy, and I charged again, and more soldiers again and again and again came running at me, and again and again and again they all fell. I killed them all. The last one I'd seen before in Dalen's castle. I never understood him. He always enjoyed fighting. Either means he's psychotic, or he's really good at it and has not lost before. I charged at him, and I began to be filled with that rage once again. Our blades clashed. He was stronger and smarter than the others. We moved from side to side, trying to do what was right in our own mind. He went high, I went low. I then got an opening. When he advanced too far into a thrust, I deflected and spun around his blade, stabbing him in the back. but he wasn't dead yet. I nicked him at best. He turned around and said, "My oh my, you were definitely worth the prize." I jumped and I cut him on the cheek, slowly. The world slowly stopped around me. Every move he ever made, I countered, quite quickly and efficiently. It's almost as if the world around me just ceased to exist, and the only two things in the world were me and him. My warmth came from my rage that I felt in my heart for this creature. I hadn't met this one before, but I hated him with every fiber of my being. I wanted him dead, for no matter what reason he did, I didn't care. I wanted him dead. I wanted to make him suffer for all the pain and all the agony I had been brought to. Dalen had brought me a great severe amount of pain, and I wanted to take it all on this one man. I wanted to make him suffer for all the pain, for everything that he ever did to me. I wanted to make this man suffer for it. I threw away my sword, and I ran at him with a bestial strength I hadn't felt before, and I jumped on his head, and I slashed again and again and again until his face was left with nothing but scratch marks and blood. I then reached deep into his head, and I ripped it off again with my bare hands, but this time it was different. This time I felt like I was in control. I felt like I had rage that I needed to get off my chest, and this man was going to serve that purpose well. I looked around, and then I yelled into the middle of the sky. Then Abby walked up. "You missed two. I took care of them, but that was horrifying." I turned around, and she said, "Now one of your eyes are red." What? I looked in a reflection of a ice puddle, a little puddle, entirely frozen. And I saw it. One eye was blue, one eye was red. I didn't know what it was. And honestly, I didn't care. The threat was gone. They were dead. I said, "Let's get going. We have to meet your hunters, right?" "Yeah, but we really want to talk afterward, okay? Because that was kind of terrifying. It was like you weren't even human. Granted, you're not human, but even you had human qualities, human emotions, and it was like you forgot all of them existing at once, and you just wanted to make the world suffer for it. Do you really feel that way? Am I gonna have to be concerned about myself?" "No. What's done is done. I do not harbor any bad feelings towards you. We must move on before I get anyone else killed. This will serve as a message that I am not to be trifled with, and they cannot attack me without paying the price. Connor, you really should let me do the fighting from now on, because I don't want you to lose yourself in that fighting again." "What do you mean?" "I mean, you lost yourself. It was like you were a different person. Don't do anything that you can get lost in. Anger, you will lose yourself in. Be careful with how you approach the fights next time, okay? Or better yet, let me deal the fighting, and you just stay on the sideline. I'm not standing around and waiting for them to come and attack me. If I am threatened, I will fight back. I'm not saying don't fight back. I'm just saying be careful. Okay? Do you understand? I nodded, and we left. We were on our way to Huntsman's Keep, a place where I'll probably find another fight waiting for me.